Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just want to take a moment to say thanks for joining me. I hope you're staying in. And I've been enjoying leading these noon yoga practices. This is my third one now, but first time on Facebook Live. And the reason why we're trying it on Facebook is because it doesn't kick you off after an hour, and I can save this video to share to my YouTube later. So if you can't catch it now, check into my YouTube channel later. Same name, Ariel on Yoga. And I'm also doing this because, hi babe, it keeps me consistent to my practice too. So I'm just trying to keep up with my yoga practice just like you. So thanks for holding me accountable, and I hope you're practicing with me, or if not, just watching so we can have some connection time over the interwebs. And some of you have been asking me about my Venmo account. I haven't even been mentioning, but yes, I will take donations. It's the same name you see here, Ariel on Yoga on Venmo. So we'll go ahead and get started. If you have a block, we're gonna start with that block between the thighs. So go ahead and grab it. If not, no big deal. And I got a request today to work on some hamstring stretches and some hip openers, ultimately working towards a handstand practice. And those of you who know me, you know I love handstands, so I'm all down for that. So the squeezing of the block between the inner thighs is just gonna train us to adduct, to use our inner thigh muscles to hug to the midline. And as humans on planet Earth, we always have to resist gravity's downward pull by squeezing in to go up, whether we're balancing on our feet or our hands. So as you grip into that block with your thighs, or just imagine you had a block between your legs. You could even put like an exercise ball if you have one of those. And then stand with your heels underneath your hips. So feet hips width apart. Spread out your toes, root your toes into the floor. Lift your kneecaps up. Roll your shoulders up by your ears. Relax your shoulders down your back. And just close your eyes for a moment. Notice the more you squeeze your block, or the more you hug your legs to the midline, the more steadiness you find. And the same is true as you draw your navel in towards your spine. It automatically happens every time you exhale. And I like to think of that as like your superpower strength, gathering into the midline, your root lock. Just the same in your shoulder blades. As you pinch your shoulder blades together on your back, imagine you had a pencil to hold back there. Your shoulder blades squeezing into your racer back tank. And then notice if you're jutting your ribs forward, so you can pull your ribs back in, and then close your eyes. Let it be just a test to see if you're still swaying at all. Forward, back, side to side. Find that stack of your bones. Head over heart, heart over hips, hips over heels. And try to maintain that element of effort and ease in every posture we find today. Exhale everything out. Find that tone in your abdomen and breathe a little deeper in. Exhale to the root in your belly. Feeling that abdominal tone on the next breath in. Exhaling everything out. Now as you inhale next, stretch your arms wide to the sides, all the way up over your head. Look up, see your hands connect. And then bring your right hand down by your right side. Lean over to the right. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, come back up to center, both arms over your head. Exhale, bring your left hand down by your left side. Lean to your left. Inhale, coming back up, arms overhead. Now open your elbows wide, standing back bend. Lift your chest, look up. Inhale, re-extend your arms over your head. Now bend your knees and swing your arms behind you. Chair pose with airplane wings. We're gonna repeat that a few times. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, right hand by your side, lean to the right. Inhale, back up to center. Left hand by your side, lean to the left. Inhale, coming all the way up. Elbows wide, open your chest. Inhale, re-extend, arms overhead. Exhale, bend your knees, swing your arms behind you, airplane wings. Inhale, coming back up, reach, 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 reach. Again, right hand by your side, lean to the right. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, left hand down, lean to the left. Inhale, take it up. Elbows wide, open your chest. Inhale, reach up for the sky. Bend your knees, swing your arms behind you. Do that one more time. Rise up, reach up, arms lift. Right arm by your side, lean to the right. Inhale, coming back up. Left hand by your side, lean to the left. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, elbows wide, lift your chest. Inhale, reaching arms high. Now bend your knees, swing your arms behind you. I was just seeing some of you wanting me to turn the phone over, but can you turn your phone over? Will that work? Now stay in that chair pose, arms by your side, shoulders squeeze, lengthen through your tail, exhale. Now bring your hands forward in front of your shoulders, bring your palms together so they touch. Squeeze that block or the imaginary block, sit a little deeper, exhale. Now take a breath in. Exhale, twist your right hand back behind you. You can look to the right or maybe see your thumb behind you. Inhale, bring your hands in front of your chest again. Now go the other side. Twist your left hand back behind you, turn your chest to the left. Inhale, unwind back to center. Do that again. Exhale, dip and twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. To the left, exhale. One more. Coming to center, breathe in. To the right on your breath out. Inhale, take it back. Last side, exhale. Now bring your arms forward or up by your ears. Sit your hips back, bend your knees a little deeper. Stay like that or come onto your tippy toes, hover your heels. Remember, the more you hug to the midline, the more strength you find. Grip into that block, lengthen your tail, hug your belly button in. Shoulders pinch that imaginary pencil, one more breath. Grounding through your heels, lift your arms up, look up. Open your elbows wide, open up your heart one more time. Inhale, re-extend your arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive. Remove that block out from between your thighs. Come into a halfway lift, hands to the shins, breathe in. Now place your hands on your mat, step your feet back into plank pose. Pause there, 5 breaths. Check out your fingers, spread them wide. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Push the ground down, feel your upper back round, hugging your low belly in and up. Feel your quads turn on. Squeeze your legs so they hold themselves up, and then take one more deep breath. Exhale, go slow as you lower yourself to the floor, hugging your elbows in, shoulders on your back. Untuck your toes, press the tops of your feet onto your mat. Inhale, lift your head and your chest, baby cobra. Loop your shoulders back, pull the floor back, one more breath. Exhale to release, forehead to floor. Walk your hands back just an inch or two, stack them underneath your elbows. Inhale, lift your head, chest, hips, and thighs. Imagine you still have that block between your inner thighs, that pencil between your shoulder blades, that same drawing in of the navel, and then look up, last breath. Okay, downward facing dog, exhale, lift your hips, lengthen through your legs. We'll take 5 breaths. And as you look back at your legs, notice if they look parallel to you. Try to make your heels disappear behind your ankles, that same internal rotation of your thighs. Remember, you can bend your knees as much as you need to, especially if that helps you lengthen through your spine. Feel your triceps wrapping towards the floor, hug your lower ribs in, and then push through the ball mounds of your hands a little bit more. That way we protect our wrists. Exhale everything out. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward towards your hands. Exhale, bend your knees, and then walk or hop to the top of your mat, feet hips width apart. Inhale to extend your spine halfway up, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, folding in, chin to the chest, belly in. Come all the way up to standing. Imagine you still have that block to squeeze. Reach, reach, reach. Hands into heart, exhale. Now repeat that. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, extend your spine halfway up so it's parallel to your mat. Exhale, hands to the floor, step it back to plank pose, and keep breathing out as you bend your elbows. Chaturanga, hover halfway down. Flip to the tops of your feet, lift your chest, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 4 breaths this time. And just repeat the same technique you did the last time you were here. Come to strengthen your legs and your arms, and then building your awareness to find that breath. Notice every time you exhale that tone in your abdomen. Try to maintain that tone, drawing the belly in and up as you breathe. Now exhale completely. Inhale, lift your heels, look up. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk or hop lightly to the top. Imagine you had a block to squeeze. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, down. All the way up. Inhale, arms wide. Hands to heart, breathe out. Do that one more time. Inhale, Utthita Tadasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Heads up, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or float, hands to the mat, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, pull the floor back. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, push the floor down and forward. Now 3 breaths. 2. Last one. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward. Bend your knees, walk or hop feet together at the top this time. Big toes touch halfway up. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, coming all the way to standing, squeeze your legs together, reach overhead. This time, draw your hands through heart center and then down by your sides. Pause there, take a breath. Let it go. Now sit back into chair pose. With the big toes touching and the knees touching, you can squeeze to the midline, hug the low belly in, lengthen through your tail, and then bring your chest lower so it's parallel to the floor. Keep reaching your arms forward, belly hovering just above the thighs, slow navel in and up, and then come onto your tippy toes again, lean forward. Squeeze your knees, your ankles, get low with your legs, your hips, your chest. And then take your knees apart so you can place your hands on the floor with your arms inside of your leg bones, and then perch your knees up onto your upper arm bones. And you can stay just like this, or come onto your tippy toes. Feel more weight shift into your hands. Otherwise, look forward and make it crow pose, drawing your heels in towards your seat. Now remember, to resist gravity's downward pull, you have to squeeze to the midline. Big toes together, knees hug towards one another, elbows hug towards one another, navel to the spine. Take that last breath in. And then exhale, step it back or shoot it back, Chaturanga. It's always optional, so you can meet in downward dog anytime. Take 3 breaths. Whatever did or didn't happen, let it go. It's now a matter of the past. 2 more breaths. Last one. All right, now lift your right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring your right knee to your nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, kick it high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, coil in, touch your nose. One more time, kick right leg to sky. Exhale, step your foot forward between your thumbs. Go and lower your left knee down onto the floor. Now hook your thumbs together so your hands look like a butterfly, and then bring your arms up over your head. Now, keeping your thumbs latched, imagine you wanted to rip out of this bind. Pull your palms apart, feel your lats turn on, the outer arms all the way down towards your armpits. Then roll your shoulders back, lift through your heart, and the front of your waistband. That way you can lengthen your tailbone towards the ground and create a little more space in your back as you back bend. Your right heel piercing through the floor. One more breath. And then inhale to come up out of your back bend. Exhale, take your hands to your mat. Lift your back knee off the floor as you inhale, and then stretch your right leg straight as well as you exhale. Then we'll just go back and forth a few times, bending the knees, sink your hips low and look up. Exhale, lengthen your knees, lift your hips high and look down. Do that again. Inhale, get low in your hips. You can use your blocks here if you have them at home. Exhale, lengthen through your legs, drop your head. One more of those. Inhale, come into your lunge, look up. Exhale, this variation of pyramid pose, hold it for a few breaths. Remember, the knees can be slightly bent the whole time, it's all good. Option to lift your right toes up towards your nose. Press your heel through the floor. Lift through your right sitting bone. to exhale instead. One more breath. Good. Inhale to extend through your spine, look up. Exhale, bend into your right knee. Left hand down, right hand up on a twist. Now feel your left leg strong and steady. 3 more breaths. From here, side plank. Now you're more than welcome to bend your left knee to the floor and stretch your right foot towards the back of your mat so you have a modified side plank. Or pivot to the outer edge of your left foot and then stack the right one on top. Imagine you still have that block between your thighs, that the bottom leg can lift up into the top leg. Squeeze your knees strong and straight. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Feel the low belly activate. Feel the shoulders pinching that imaginary pencil on your back. Take 1 more breath. Exhale, lower your right hand to the floor, plank pose. Take a breath here. Optional Chaturanga Dandasana on your way to downward facing dog. Exhale to get there. And then switch. Lift your left leg to the sky. Exhale, touch your nose with your knee. Hug your navel to your spine. Inhale, kick it high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, coil in, touch your nose. 1 more, big kick, breathe in. Exhale, step forward with your left foot and lower your right knee to the floor. Hook your thumbs together, arms up over your head like a butterfly. Relax your shoulders back. Keep the latch of your thumbs, but try to pull your palms apart. Maybe even close your eyes. Feel what is firing. Your wings, your lats. Keep it up and feel the left heel pushing through the floor, pulling the floor back. Now you're also firing your left hamstring. Keep driving your right hip forward and then add a little length in your tailbone as you lean back. 1 more breath. Good. Inhale, coming up out of the back bend. Exhale, hands to the earth or blocks. Tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee off the mat. Exhale, lengthen through your left leg, relax your head. Pulse into your lunge again, bending your knees, shift your hips forward, look forward. Exhale, shift your hips up, lengthen your legs, relax your head. 2 more. Inhale, get low. Exhale, get high. 1 more time. Inhale, just loosening up the joints. Now pause with your legs straight, hands underneath your shoulders. Little bend's okay. And if you liked that variation on the other side, lift your left toes up towards your nose. Put more weight in your hands. Dig your left heel down and pull the floor back. Roll your shoulders back, shoulders pinch. Two more deep breaths. On every exhale, find that abdominal toe. 1 more. Good. Inhale to extend through your spine. Exhale, bend into your front knee. Right hand down for your twist, left hand lifts. Keep your left big toe on the floor. That'll trigger the whole inner line, the adductor of your left leg. Then keep your knee in close, pull that left hip back and add more twist. Roll your right shoulder away from your ear. Squeeze the imaginary pencil and then come into side plank. Pivot to the outer edge of your right foot. Stack your left foot on top or bend your right knee to the floor. Now, create a little bit of space between your heels so your legs are internally rotated. The big toes touch and that knuckle where the toes connect to your foot. And if your wrist is feeling tender, think about using your left index finger knuckle and that whole ball mount of your hand a little more. Lengthen through the tail, turn on the quads, look up at that left thumb, 1 more breath. And then exhale, left hand to the mat, high plank pose, take a breath in. Optional chaturanga on the breath out. Make your way to down dog, or if you prefer child's pose at this point, send your knees to the floor, bring your hips to your heels, rest your forehead on the mat. I'll take 5 breaths wherever you're at. Breathing with gratitude. Grateful for your healthy respiratory system today. Grateful for being alive today. Fill your vessel with breath. One more. Exhale. Now if you're in your child's pose, go ahead and make your way back into downward dog. Exhale everything out. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, walk or pounce to the top like you have a block to squeeze. Feet together, halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Sit back in your chair pose. Bend your knees, curl your tailbone towards the floor. Reach your hands forward or up by your ears. Sit back and down a little bit more, exhale. Now inhale to come all the way up to standing. Lengthen your legs, reach overhead. Then begin to wrap your left arm underneath your right arm for eagle. Spiral your forearms, hold the palms together, or grab your shoulder heads. Now lift your elbows in line with your shoulders, shrug your shoulders down your back, take a breath. Exhale, bend into your knees, sit your hips back. You can stay like chair pose here, or shift all the weight onto your right foot. Spread out your right toes. Lift the left thigh and wrap it over the right thigh. Now maybe your toes land on the floor, or you can swivel them behind your right calf. Either way, imagine you had that block to squeeze. Hug to the midline, inner thighs. Lengthen through your tail, hug your low belly in. And if you want to make it sleeping eagle, start to lean forward, elbows towards your knees. Grounding into your right big toe, but swivel your knees to the left an inch or two. Feel that inner squeeze in your arms as well, pressing the palms together. One more deep breath. Go slow as you unwrap your arms. Rise up into a one-legged standing pose with your left knee hiked up in front of your left hip. Strong inner thighs, reach up, long overhead. Now find Dakasana or Warrior 3. Bend your right knee, send your left foot back behind you, and extend your arms like airplane wings. All the same rules apply. Use the inner thigh, shoulders squeeze, navel to spine. Maybe the right leg lengthens on this last breath. And then bring the left toes to the floor, tuck them under, high lunge. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, Warrior 2, turn your chest to the left. Gazing down, do you see your right big toe inside the line of your right thigh? Keeping your knee over your ankle, drive your right shin farther forward. Stacking your ribs over your hips. Think about your left hand reaching farther back. Now stay steady in the legs. Inhale, lift the right arm up over your head. Feel the heat building in that right thigh. You are alive today. But as you turn the knee open towards the pinky toe side, we're using the abductor, the outer thigh, a new set of muscles. Now inhale, come up through center. Exhale for the side angle pose, right elbow on your right thigh, or you could take your right hand to the earth or block, inside or outside of your front foot. Left hand reaching up, or maybe alongside the ear. As long as you can breathe and ground into the outer edge of your left foot, you're doing great. Now you're welcome to stay here, or we're gonna hit up half moon. Take your left hand to your left hip, look down towards the ground. If you have a block, bring it with you as you walk your right hand forward, and then slowly drag your left toes up your mat before you lift your left foot off your mat. Like side plank. Flex through the ankle, turn on the quad, lengthen the tail, pull that left hip back, and then maybe the left arm lifts. Feel the shoulders pinching on your back, same rules apply, maybe less weight in that right hand. 3 more breaths, turn on the quads. Very nice. Then we'll step it forward, so bend the right knee first, and then take your left foot to the ground at the top of your mat. Feet hips width, take that half lift as you breathe in. Fold a little deeper, breathe out. Now do a counter stretch for that right hip of yours. So keep your feet hips width apart, lengthen through your spine. Have your left hand on the floor or block underneath your chin. Bend your left knee. Keep your right leg straight, and then twist your right hand upwards towards the ceiling. Rounding through the big toes, pull your right hip crease back. Curl your tailbone towards your mat. And then breathe and reach. Option to add a half bind, right arm across the low back. And bring it to the inner left thigh. And then bring your left ear towards your shoulder if you're in that version. One more breath. Use your inhale to unwind your bind. Exhale, folding forward, relax your head. Now with the bend in both knees, go slow as you round and rise all the way up to standing. We'll take a standing back bend. Loop your shoulders back. Take your hands to your lower back. Press your hips forward. Lift your heart skyward and let your head hang back on your traps. Awesome. Come up to standing. Release the arms by your sides, exhaling. Inhale, float your palms wide to the sides, all the way up over your head. Exhale, bind your right arm underneath your left. Spiral your forearms, grab your thumb pad. Now lift your elbows, shrug your shoulders back. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend your knees. Set up your left foot to hold all your weight. Spread out those toes. Shift your weight into the left leg and then lift the right. Wrap right thigh over left. Toes to the floor or behind your calf. How do we resist gravity's downward pull? We hug to the midline, that's right. So squeeze your inner thighs. Hug your belly button in on your exhale. Feel your biceps intertwined. And then keeping that squeeze, maybe the elbows find the knees. You have all the strength you need. All you gotta do is wrap yourself around yourself. Two more breaths. You're gonna unweave your arms, rise up, hike up your right thigh. Start over as many times as you need to find your one-legged standing pose. Use those inner thigh muscles, your abductors. Now take a breath in. Exhale, fly your arms back. Send your right heel back behind you. Bend your standing leg, warrior three or Dakasana, airplane. Spin your right toes in, find that internal rotation. Like you had a block between your thighs, gather to the midline. Navel and shoulders pinch. Stretch your legs long, one more breath. And then tuck your right toes into a lunge. Inhale, arms up over your head. Exhale, spin your chest to the right. Spin your right heel to the ground. Stretch your arms wide, warrior two. Find your alignment from the inside out. Look for your big toe. Stack your knee over your ankle. Reach your right hand for the wall behind you as you send your left shin farther forward. Feel the pinch of your shoulder blades on your back, that pencil squeeze, and then a little bend in the elbows so you can turn on your triceps. Now exhale everything out. Inhale, lift your left arm up over your head. Drape your right arm down your back leg. Two more breaths. Inhale, coming up through center. Exhale, side angle pose. Left elbow to the thigh to start. Right hand can be on your hip, or straight up to the sky, or alongside your ear. Open up through that left knee, draw it open, scoop your sits bone under, and maybe the left hand gets a little lower. Breathe. What you do now sets you up for what's to come. The lower you get in your lunge, the easier the transition to the half moon. Explore your depth. One more breath. And then gaze down, right hand to your hip. Walk your left hand forward, slide your right toes up your mat, and then lift your right foot off your mat. Flex through both ankles, turn on both quads, lengthen through your tail, and lift that right hip bone as you press into your left big toe. Right arm lifts. Maybe the left arm floats. 3 more breaths. 2. And then folding forward, feet at the top of your mat, shake it out, breathe out. And then that counter stretch, lengthen through your spine, feet hips width apart, right hand underneath your chin, bend your right knee, lift your left arm to the sky. Pull your left hip back, keep your left leg long, and then curl your tailbone towards your mat. Stay there, or half bind, left arm across the low back, reaching for your inner right thigh, and then your right ear can come towards your shoulder. Roll that right shoulder back and down. 3 more rounds. Unwind your left arm, reach it up over your head. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, lengthen through your spine halfway. Exhale, fold in just a little deeper. Inhale, come all the way up with a long spine this time. Arms go wide, reach over your head. Exhale, hands to your chest. Take a breath. Let it go. Now take a step back with whatever leg to face the long edge of your mat. I don't know where you've positioned your camera, but face me. Turn your toes in, spin your heels out, stretch your arms wide to a T, turn on your quads, open up your heart, and then exhale as you dive in, forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. You can place your hands on your blocks or your ankles or your mat. Just imagine you could tear your mat in half, push the floor down and push the floor out. Now feel your sitting bones widen, lift your tail a little bit more, and then fold in, look at your belly button, chin to chest. Going slow, walk your hands up underneath your shoulders. Create a little bend in your knees, then bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And then turn your toes out, pivot your heels in. Stretch your arms wide, all the way up over your head. Exhale, bend your knees, sit your hips low, bring your hands to heart center. Continue to float your palms down. Inhale as they go out, lengthen through your legs, reach up overhead. And do that again. Exhale, hands through heart center, drop your tail, hug the low belly in and up. Inhale, arms go down, out and up. Exhale, drop the tail, sink into your thighs. Arms go down, out and up. Now come down into that squat on your exhale. And then reverse the direction. So now your legs lengthen as your prayer reaches over your head. Exhale, arms go wide, bend through the knees, lengthen through the tail. The arms continue to circle down. Inhale, up through the midline, overhead. You know the pattern, 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. As your arms come down, let them land on your thighs. Take a breath in, push the thighs down, and then twist to your right. Exhale. Push back with your left hand. Push back with your left knee. 1 more breath. Good. Inhale, unwinding. Exhale, go the other way. But I know you watching over me. You help us through the good. Come back to center, breathe. Stay low on your legs, hands to the chest. Option to lift your heels off the mat. Adding a little pulse with your knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Ground your heels, shoot your prayer skyward, lengthen through your legs. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the top of your mat. Step forward so you're at the top of your mat for a halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale, come into a toe squat. Lift your heels, bend your knees a lot so your hips come all the way down to the back of your ankles. Your heels are nice and high. And then draw your nose towards your knees. Breathe into the arches of your feet. Thank you, feet. One more breath just for them. All right, now lower your seat to the ground. If you have that block, go ahead and place it between your upper inner thighs again. If not, no big deal. Take your hands behind you. Shift some more weight into your hands. Roll your shoulders back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift through your chest. And then with the weight in your hands, squeeze that block and lift your feet. Shins parallel to the floor. Now, if you don't have the block, bring your big toes together. Or if you do have the block, bring your big toes together. Squeezing to the midline, navel to the spine, shoulders pinch. And then hands can travel forward by your shins. Option to lengthen your legs all the way straight, or the arms up by the ears. Remember, shaking's okay, just keep breathing. Whether you're balancing on your feet, your hands, or your bottom, squeeze to the midline. Hug that block, shoulders pinch, navel to spine, resisting gravity's downward pull. Take another deep breath. And then hold on to the back of your thighs. Slowly lower your spine onto the floor. Hold on to your shins. Guide your heels to the mat so they land underneath your kneecaps. Vertical shins. Arms by your sides. Exhale. Now inhale, lift your hips up off the floor for bridge pose. Option to interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulder blades together, just like we did in every other pose. Dig your elbows down. Press the heels and the big toes into the floor and try to push the floor forward. Squeezing that block, lengthen through your tail, drawing that low belly in and up for 3. Lift your chin off your chest for 2. One more big press, big breath. Awesome. Release your interlaced hands. Lower your back to the ground. If you have that block, just take it aside. Heel toe your feet as wide as your mat and tick-tock your knees side to side. Assess. How did the spine like that back bend? Does it want to repeat the same pose? Or maybe come into full wheel. You can also choose to skip it. Just make sure your spine and your mind agree. And when you're ready, reset your feet. Heels beneath the kneecaps. Arms by your sides. Exhale everything out. Inhale, hips rise. Stay here to lace your hands or bring your hands back by your ears, fingertips pointing toward your shoulders. Bring the crown of your head to the floor first. Squeeze the imaginary block between your legs. Squeeze the pencil between your shoulder blades and then lengthen your arms. Lift your head off the floor. Lengthen your legs. Put your heels on the floor. Feel your big toes pushing down. Squeeze that imaginary block, especially while we back bend. Breathe for 3. 2. Last big breath. Awesome. And slow to release the back of your head to the mat, followed by your shoulders, your hips. And this time, hold onto your kneecaps, pull them into your chest, and make circles with your knees. Let's say 3 clockwise, 3 counterclockwise. Switching when you're at 3. And cross your right knee over your left knee like when we did eagle, and then twist your knees over towards the left. Try to keep your knees close to your body. So hike them in so you can feel your left armpit and your right knee get close. And then you can hold on to your right thigh with your left forearm as you open your right arm to the right, look to the right. One more breath. Exhale. And then untangle your legs before you roll back to center. Do a little rock side to side, and then we'll go the other way. When you're ready, left thigh over right. Maybe the toes tuck, maybe not. Scoot your hips to the left a little bit. Tilt your knees to the right armpit. Let them land. Right forearm across the left thigh. Left arm open to the side. 3 less. Let gravity pull down and flatten you out. Relax your inner thighs, letting your legs just weigh one another down. One more round of breath. Go ahead, untangle your legs. Coming back to center, happy baby. Hold on to your inner feet or your inner thighs. Pull down on your heels. Make your feet parallel to the ceiling, your shins perpendicular to your feet, and then guide the kneecaps towards the ground by your sides. Feel your spine flat on the mat. One more breath. Now gather your knees together, hold on to the back of your thighs. Start to pump your legs the way you do on a swing. Rock your body forward and back, massage your spine. Eventually rock yourself up through a seat. Crisscross your shins, take your hands to the top of your mat step or float your feet back. Plank pose to chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, up dog. Keep your tailbone long. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few breaths, lengthening through your spine. Relax through your heels. Your hamstrings helped you do your back bends, so maybe it feels good to pedal them out here. One more breath. Now, slow stretch of your right leg high into the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, step forward with your right foot. Bring your left knee down onto the floor. Place your hands on your right thigh as you lift your chest. Roll your shoulders back. Lift the front of your waistband. And keeping your right hand where it is, extend your left arm by your ear. From your grounded knee to your fingertips, create a lot of length. And then create a twist. Left elbow outside your right thigh. Press your right hand into your left hand. Or you can place your right hand on your sacrum, your lower back. Feel the equal and opposite force of your left elbow pushing into your right knee. Ground into that right big toe. Pull the right hip back. Option to tuck your left toes under and lift your left knee back. 3 more breaths. Turn on that left quad and glute if it's lifted. Rounding to that right big toe. Hug to the midline. 1 more round. Okay, and then if your back knee is lifted, lower it to the floor. Look down. Reach your hands down. Come into half splits. Walk your hands back. Straighten out your right leg. Press down with your right heel. Lift up with your right sits bone. And press forward with the ball mound of your right foot. It's like you're doing a half flex and a half point of flight. Now pressing down through the heel, lengthen through your spine. Roll your shoulders back, lead with your heart, dive in. 5 more breaths. If you feel like coming into the full Hanumanasana, slide your right heel forward, tuck your left toes under, lift the left knee and just scoot your left knee back 1 inch at a time. Notice the moment that your hips start to turn to the side and then just stop. You can put a block underneath your right sitting bone or a pillow. I've been trying this version where I keep my back knee on the floor, bend my front knee, and see if we can get my right sitting bone to the mat first. Once that lands, then I lengthen through the legs, and maybe the arms extend up overhead. Keep scissor hugging the thighs together. Pull that right hip back, drive your left hip forward. Folding in, if you're in the full splits, hands wide, right cheek inside the shin. If you are working on an inversion practice, it is very helpful to have long hamstrings because that transition from right side up to upside down, you can do it with a little more ease with long hamstrings. So I'm gonna have you give that a try. If you're in the full splits, come into the half splits, drive it back. Now, like standing splits, bend your front knee, walk your hands forward, and lift your back foot off the floor. Now you can hang out right here. Focus on the internal rotation of your left leg, or grab onto your right ankle, drop your head, or look forward, place your palms shoulder distance apart. That internal rotation of your lifted leg is key as you hop off the floor. Now use your right leg a lot. Bend your right knee like a pistol squat almost. Bounce off the ground and pull your right heel towards your seat. Try it a few times. Wrap your triceps back, bounce. Try to get your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your shoulders for 3, stick it. Stride the right toes up the left leg. We'll meet back in the downward facing dog. Feel free to go from handstand to plank to chaturanga to up dog to down dog. However you want to get there, have some fun. All right, lift your left leg to the sky. Step forward with your left foot. Bring your right knee to the ground. Hands up on the left thigh. Arrive, shoulders back. Lift the front of your waistband. Lengthen through the tail. Drive the left knee towards the midline and then the right arm up by the ear. One more deep inhale. Set up for your twist. Exhale, right elbow outside your left thigh. Left hand presses into right. Roll your shoulders back. Turn your heart upwards towards your thumbs. Now keep the stack of your left knee over your ankle. Tuck the right toes. If you did that on the other side, turn on the right quad and the glute. Twist. When things get a little shaky, ground your left big toe. Keep that guy on the ground. Sometimes I just talk to it in my head. Big toe, big toe, big toe. And then the eyes can look up. Awesome. Go ahead and look down. Take your hands to the floor. Lower the back knee if it's lifted. Half splits. Shift your hips back. Lengthen your left leg. Your right thigh bone is vertical. Your left heel digs down. Your left ball mound presses forward, and your left sitting bone lifts back and up. Shoulders pinch on your back, fold in. Full splits, if you did that on the other side, take your time. Two sides not always the same, right? So just drive that left heel forward until you can't go any farther. Tuck your right toes, scoot your right knee back, 1 inch at a time. You want to try what I did on the other side. Bend your front knee. Try to get your left sitting bone to the floor first. And then think about lengthening through your knees. Spiral that right pinky toenail towards the floor. Scissor hug the inner thighs. Lift your arms up. And then folding in left cheek inside the shin. All the way up. Press into your palms, half splits. On your way to standing splits. So the left foot will stay on the floor. Walk your hands forward and then lift your right foot off the floor. Scissor hug the thighs. Spiral your inner right thigh to the sky. Imagine you had that block to squeeze. Or practice your kick-ups. So hands at least shoulder distance apart. Spread your fingers. Roll your shoulders back. Triceps wrap, ribs in. Bend your standing leg a lot. And then launch your right heel to the sky. Your left heel kicks towards your seat. If you find it, pause. And then the left toes slide up the right leg. Big toes connect, just like when we did side plank. Squeeze the imaginary block. 3, 2, 1. Step back, float it back, cycle through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. All right. Lift your right foot again for pigeon pose. This time bring your right shin behind your wrists. Lower your hips. Lengthen your left leg. Loop your shoulders back, lift through your chest. And then fold in, exhale. We'll take 10 breaths here. Inhale through your nose and exhale out of your mouth. Halfway there. Tuck your left toes behind you. Lift your right thigh for three-legged dog. Take your time. Open up the hips. Option to flip into wild thing, so keep your left hand on the floor. Spiral your right toes around to the ground behind you. Feel that left shoulder blade roll down your back as you open your heart and reach long through your right arm, reach long through your left leg. Exhale. Good. Push off your right toes, flip it over, three-legged dog pose. Right foot to the mat, exhale. Lift your left, breathe in. Exhale, left shin behind the wrists. Pigeon. Come on down, 10 deep breaths. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Slow when you're ready, walk your palms up. Tuck your right toes. Lift your hips, lift your left thigh towards the sky. Roll open the hips. Three-legged dog, maybe the wild thing. Right hand stays on the floor. Left toe spiral around. Turn your heart up towards the sky. Let it sing. Awesome. Then flipping back over. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Take a couple breaths. Now you're more than welcome to take a seat, but if you're practicing your transition from down dog to handstand, we're going to try a few tuck jumps here. So bring your feet together like you have a block between your thighs. Look at your hands, spread your fingers wide, roll your shoulders back, triceps towards the mat. Now lift your heels a lot, bend your knees a lot, like almost to the floor. Feel the power of your thighs, and then on an exhale, hop off the ground, keep your heels in towards your seat, and then you can land back in that downward dog with the bouncing legs. Give it 3 to 5 tries. Use your breath out as you bounce off, so you can activate those abdominal muscles, the mula bandha, your superpower. Stack hips over shoulders, shoulders over wrists. Keep your big toes together. Give it another go. And maybe you hop it through to a seat. That's where we'll meet. Legs long out in front, seated forward fold. Lift your arms up. Say hello to yourself, bow in. 3 more breaths in your fold. Think about lengthening your spine on every inhale. Loop your shoulders back, folding a little deeper. Exhale. And go slow as you round your spine back up. Take a counter pose. Upside down tabletop or plank. So if you want to do tabletop, bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, lift your hips. Or upside down plank is just with the legs straight. And if you're in that one, try to touch your toes towards the floor, all 10 of your toe pads. Shoulders still engaging on your back, and then the head drops back. Lift your hips, lengthen your tail, 1 more breath. And exhale, lower your hips to the ground. Hold on to the back of your legs. Roll your spine down. Exhale. Drawing your knees into your chest. Or if you prefer happy baby, feel free to rock side to side. Any last moves your body needs. Of course, this is your time, this is your practice, so do what you need to do. But when you feel complete, lift your nose up towards your knees, squeeze everything, and then exhale, release everything. Corpse pose, Savasana. Stretch your legs long, turn your feet open, press your head into the mat and relax your shoulders back and down. Have your palms facing up. Exhale out of your mouth. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhaling nose. Exhale mouth. Inhaling hope. Exhaling fear, anxiety, tension. Settle in. Feel your bottom jaw relax. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let it just hang back. Tell your eyes to pivot downward in their sockets. Notice everywhere that you feel the floor beneath you. Scanning your body. Allow those places to get a little bit heavier. Finally surrendering to gravity's downward pull. Notice how it flattens you down and spreads you out like a puddle. Being held to this earth by the force of gravity. Let it support you. Let it lift you up. And recognize, as human beings living on planet Earth, spiraling around on this giant rock through outer space, whatever's happening right now is so much bigger than us. We will get through it. And we'll do it with compassion, with gratitude, with breath. And as you rest here, you're teaching yourself how to heal. So give yourself these few minutes to do nothing and just receive the benefits of your practice and your breath as it comes and goes. You can use the mantra, let go. feels right. Roll yourself to one side, pausing for a moment in the fetal position. Born again. Meet yourself again. Cradle yourself in your humanity. Forgive yourself for something. Let something go. Only when you're ready to rise, tread lightly and with intention, pressing one palm into the floor, followed by the other, eventually meeting me in a seat, drawing hands together in front of your heart. Close your eyes, and we'll finish with a moment of gratitude. I'll start us off. Grateful for this breath, may we never take it for granted. Grateful for this body and all the things it can do, but especially all the things that it can't, because those lessons teach us the most. Grateful for this opportunity to practice today. I'm missing my Kula, my community, but it's nice to connect with you virtually. And then anything else you are grateful for, big or small, just close your eyes, list them off in your mind. Gratitude is the antidote to everything. Feel that warmth in your heart, a smile on your face, maybe even tears swelling in your eyes. Gratitude is what we need more of out there in the world, so please carry it with you, share it with those you love from 6 feet away. We'll take one more breath together here. Inhale deeply. Exhale. The light in me honors the divine light within you. Namaste. Thanks again for tuning in. I'd love to hear any feedback for how this is going. Thank you for sticking with me. I might be continuing on the Facebook Live, but keep checking in. And again, if you have the means to donate, I'm taking donations through Venmo, same name you see on my profile, Ariel on Yoga. Otherwise, no worries, it's all good. I'll keep doing this too. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Mwah.